everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Pony 411 podcast. It's a podcast, once again, all about ponies. It's another two-man operation this week. I'm Nemesis, and joining me is Four String.
What's up, my lovelies?
And quite frankly, there's a lot of news this week, surprisingly.
My God.
Yeah, nothing like fandom shattering. Well, depending on where you looked. Anyway. But there was definitely a lot going on.
Unless if your whole pony worldview depended on going to a certain convention that we'll mention later.
Yeah.
If that was the case, then this might have been earth-shattering news to you. We'll see. Just wait, and we'll tell you.
Then you'll go outside on your knees, screaming in the rain.
And we'll know. Oh, they were going to Midwestern.
So anyway, yeah, like we said, lots of news. So let's get right down into it, the quick hits. Starting off, the pony-themed USB flash drives are spotted at CES 2013, and that is the Consumer Electronics Show, just in case you didn't know. They're created by Mimico, and they're licensed by Hasbro, and are currently scheduled for a 2013 release, and they showed off like Twilight Sparkle, Dash, and Rarity. Nice little drives, anyway. Fighting is Magic, the popular and yet unreleased fan-made fighting game, has been nominated to appear at EVO 2K13. And if you don't know what that is, it's a big fighting game convention type thing where a bunch of people in the fighting game community get together and, well, beat the crap out of each other virtually for money and stuff.
Slight nitpick. Why do people still do the 2K whatever?
I don't know.
When it's like the same... You could just do 2000... like a 0 now. It's okay, guys.
It's okay. I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah, anyway, it's going to be, and it's been nominated to go up on the main stage, which means main attraction. It's up against 10 other fighting games, with the winner being decided by which game has the most money donated on its behalf to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. Main 6, the game's developer, has issued a statement regarding the nomination that potential donators should definitely go read first before you go and give them your money.
Yeah. Basically, they're saying don't just donate to us because we're pony. Donate to what you think is actually the best. And they named a couple games they think are fantastic that are also nominated. So they're saying it's an honor, but don't do it just because we're a pony game, So,
exactly.
Which is good. I'm glad they said that.
Very classy.
Mm.
By the way, right now, from last I checked, they are currently winning by huge margin, so I think it's irrelevant.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, whatever. You knew it was going to happen no matter what they said.
Yeah. However, in breaking news, they have announced that Fighting's Magic has been removed from the contest because of they talked with Main 6, the developers, and they decided that because they're not sure if the game will be ready in time, they decided to pull it from the main stage thing, and it will instead have its own place at what they call the Indie Gaming Showcase. So make sure to have multiple setups and then people can play it and stuff. So basically what happens is if it still wins, because they can't actually remove it from the drive, if it still wins, they'll go ahead and give the second place the spot on the main stage. And if it also still wins, they'll run an exhibition match for Fighting is Magic. And whatever game wins also gets a $1,000 pot. So if it still wins, which it seems to be likely, because at this point it is literally more than twice that of the second highest, we'll still see an exhibition match, but it will no longer be a main stage feature. Anyway, moving on. The 2013 Shorty Awards are almost here, and several pony-related things have been nominated, including Tara Strong for Actress, Daniel Ingram in Music, and the show itself and the TV show.
And those are happening in April. So get your votes in before then, although there's been quite a few votes going on Twitter last couple days. You'd think that like the deadline was like tomorrow. It's like, no, we still got like 4 months. It'll be interesting actually to check back on this in like February to see if people are actually still doing it, or if they've just kind of gotten tired of it and then they come back in April. Who knows? We'll see.
Indeed. A new Shout Factory DVD is coming soon. Entitled Pinkie Pie Party, it is focused on the Pink One herself. It includes episodes such as Feeling Pinkie Keen, Party of One, and 3 others. It is scheduled to release January 29th exclusively at Walmart for $14.95. Yep. Andrea Libman, voice of Pinky and Fluttershy, recently did an AMA on Reddit. An AMA is Ask Me Anything. Give it a look if you want some insight into the voice actor.
Actually, interestingly enough, another person kind of with the whole Brony thing did one the same day. It was
Really?
Nicholas Ha, the editor of the Bronies documentary.
Oh.
So if you're
Check that out as well.
yeah, I'll throw a link in there for that too. Yeah, I know it was interesting actually. I posted a link to that, and that one didn't get as much on the Daily O, and that didn't get as much publicity. And then Libman's came like later that night, and it was like covered by everybody. I was like, yeah, makes sense. But yeah, so if you're ever interested in hearing about the Bronies documentary from a source that isn't John Delancey or the director, then
check that out.
Off you go. Yeah.
Moving on, a 4-page preview for issue 3 of the MLP comic has been tossed up onto iTunes. And don't forget that issue releases on January 30th, so not too much farther away from now. Las Pegasus Unicon has announced a crazy number of voice actors from the show, including Andrew Francis, Brenda Critchlow, Peter New, and more.
Many more. Well,
Many more.
7 total in this announcement.
Yeah.
Although they already had other ones announced, so it's a lot.
It's big.
Pretty much. It's a good way to kind of, pretty much start off the American con season, we'll say. Yeah. Since there's one that's happening before it, but that's...
I still want to say Unicron every single time I see it.
I know, right? Yeah. Funny thing about this, it took me way too long to realize why it's called Unicon. After it was first announced, and like a month after, I'm like, Unicon, I don't get it. And finally one day I'm just like, oh, okay. It took me way too long. I don't know why. I feel really bad about it either way.
Oh well. Anyway, speaking of Andrew Francis, it turns out he did not do the voice of Brayburn as we saw in the episode Over the Barrel. What was it?
Over a Barrel.
Yeah. Like it was previously believed. The voice used in the show actually belongs to Michael Dangerfield.
Yeah, I guess Andrew actually did the voice, but they ended up not using his takes.
Yes.
In the end, so
that's up to. I guess that's what led to the confusion.
There you go.
That and a lack of proper.
See, and the funny thing about it was he didn't even know until just now.
Yeah, he just that's not my voice.
It wasn't like we were like talking to him. And he was just like, "Wait, no, I didn't do it." It was like, which would be obvious because he's been at all the cons and he's been like letting them say, "Yeah, I'm in Brayburn's voice." He like just I guess watched and was like, "Wait
a minute,
oops,
that's not me at all."
Yeah, which by the way, kind of going back to Las Pegasus, actually, Michael Dangerfield is going to be appearing there. So if you Brayburn fans want to meet the actual voice actor of Brayburn, then there you go.
Well, by the way, your world probably just got shattered right there.
It's possible. Yeah, I guess that could be potentially earth-shattering news to some people. If they've got like Andrew Francis and Brayburn like posters on their wall, like the fused together or something. It's like, nope. I guess he said on Twitter or something that like he's gonna go to Las Pegasus and like give Michael Dangerfield this I think it's like a carved Brayburn that he was given at a convention by a fan, because he's like, well, I can't really, I mean, it feels weird having this, so
it's not right.
Exactly, yeah.
No. By the way, in case you haven't noticed, the Brony documentary did not release last Saturday as planned. Due to difficulties obtaining release forms from people who appeared on the film, the release has been pushed back until the 19th, which is the same day as the next episode, so busy day for the fandom.
Double, the fun has been doubled.
Exactly.
As the kids say.
As the princesses say. Also, a new promo for My Little Pony has aired on the Hub, and it includes scenes from the last 4 episodes of season 3. So yeah, in case you haven't realized yet, end of the season is almost here.
Yeah, isn't it weird, guys? It seemed like just yesterday we were changing our air date for the first time of this podcast so we could accommodate the episodes, and now we're about to start having probably a fixed date again because no new episodes. It's gonna be sad,
Alas.
but at least we know for sure there's a 4th season coming.
Yes.
So it's not like we're sitting here like, oh God, could this really be it? And
is this the end?
Is this the end as we know it? And
5 for 4.
we do not feel fine.
Yes. And in sadder news, Midwestria, a Chicago-based MLP convention, has announced they will take the year of 2013 off. They hope to return in 2014. So yeah, if you're planning on going to that, too bad.
Yeah, that's the at least the second casualty this year. It sounds currently Camelot Gardens is on hiatus, as we reported a few weeks back, and I know the Mexican BronyCon hasn't said anything about coming back this year either. So, even though we gained like 50, we're still losing a couple. So it's okay. There was still literally like 32 cons you guys can go to. So don't worry about it. Like as of my current count, like 32. Just
pick one. You'll probably find one somewhat close to you.
Yeah, unless you live in Africa.
Yeah, well,
or
it's possible. We do have a South African listener.
Yeah, well, but they have to have a con. They have to have other people with them.
Exactly.
I don't think there's only one in Asia right now, to my knowledge, and it's in the Philippines. That's actually the first one of the year. About 3 weeks, I think, from now. 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Yeah, I heard that this show had a fairly large following in
it does, and I've spoken to the con organizers. They're very, very wonderful people.
Oh.
So.
Okay. Anyway, finally, the title and synopsis for episode 12 have been revealed. It's called Games Ponies Play, and the synopsis is as follows. Princess Cadence invites Twilight and her friends to come to welcome the important Equestria Games inspector. The episode will air on February 9th. Yeah, Cadence comes back.
Man, oh man. First Discord, now Cadence.
Best football.
Still my favorite. Probably my favorite part of that entire episode.
Oh, yes.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah. So that's the news. Well, that's all the confirmed news, anyway.
It's all the news that we saw fit to print or say or whatever. For more news, visit all the websites.
I've seen things. I can't quite confirm yet, but
but if you know him, you probably already know what it is. Or what it involves, at least.
Yes. So, we kind of meant to do this last week, but because I didn't have it yet, we weren't able to. But we finally have it. We're going to talk about the second issue of the My Little Pony comic. It's arrived. I have it. Four String has it. We've read it. So
we have.
Okay. Indeed.
We have read the thing that you're supposed to read. And
you should read it too.
Yeah, if you have not already.
Go find it.
You can find it in many places, in many forms.
iTunes, Comixology, your local comic book store, tfaw.com.
Man, he knows way more than I did.
Exactly.
But yeah, the point is, and if you haven't picked up, the first one, I'm sure it's out there too in many ways, and you can pick up them all. The third one comes out, I think,
January 30th.
Yeah, so
soon.
Pick these up here before the new one comes out. But anyway, before we get to that, I guess we should talk about this one.
Yeah, this one. Once again, So continuing the story from issue 1, the return of Queen Chrysalis. So, yeah, we're gonna have to honestly to talk about this. I'm gonna have to spoiler issue 1 first, so a little bit. So if you haven't read issue 1, stop listening, go read it, come back. Okay? Okay.
we'll give you a place in the podcast to come to when we've stopped spoiling things.
Yeah. So
That'll work
yeah,
too.
issue 1. They talked about They found out changelings were behind the weird zombie type ponies. They were able to save the town, but unfortunately Queen Chrysalis has the Cutie Mark Crusaders kidnapped or full napped, I guess. And well, the main 6 are off to go rescue them. So yeah, the issue starts off a bit with the 6 of them have already set off to go find Cutie Mark Crusaders, and eventually they have to go into or a cave system within the mountains. And in there, they encounter many, many dangers, including a cave troll who likes to brush ponies' hair. And yet, once again, lots and lots of funny faces, including giant spiders of all things. Anyway,
Yeah.
I can't really I don't think we can go too much farther than that without spoiling the comic.
Yeah, which we don't want to do.
Yeah. Not this time. Just like last time. So.
Although there isn't really too many big spoilers in this. I mean, like, the whole idea, again, is like, this whole Return of Queen Chrysalis thing, and it's going to be happening over a set, amount of issues.
Yeah, 4
so
issues.
So you can be sure, that this episode, it's not like they've defeated Chrysalis yet or anything like that. So, the story continues and such, but yeah.
Of course, judging by the way things are, they might not have to defeat Chrysalis if Cutie Mark Crusaders have anything to do with that.
Exactly. Yeah. That's one of the funniest things to me about this comic is like, a lot of people find the CMC to be a bit annoying sometimes, and especially in like first season episodes. But I feel like they've just like made them even more so in this comic, like just accelerated it to where not so much that it's annoying to us, but it's funny, but it's very annoying to Chrysalis, obviously, and probably any other, normal being would probably just lose their stuff over, how they're. It's very funny though.
Yes,
it's funny to read, definitely. When you're not experiencing it firsthand, then it's all good.
Exactly. Yeah, just I think the highlight for me of the issue was definitely the cave troll.
The cave troll's great. One of my favorite things about the cave troll is how the troll pretty much uses the ponies as what they're supposed to be, the original toy thing with the brushing the hair. There's one specific panel where he's holding Fluttershy, and Fluttershy is basically just like standing like a, like one of the toys would be standing, just like straight, rigid, and brushing the hair, and it's the funniest thing to me is that it just makes me think about how, like, what if these toys like could actually, like, this is how you would actually feel, like it's very funny to me, like, you think about like how they're sitting there just brushing these ponies' hair like a young girl or whatever, but it's just like, if this was like some Toy Story shit, I think it'd be like like, oh my god. Also, same scene or section. What's very funny to me is like he's got his old toys, and one of the toys up there is like a transformer.
It's Optimus Prime. Yes, I love that.
I know. And the one beside it is supposed to be something, but I can't think of what it is. It's like a skull with like a mohawk.
Yeah, I see that.
Like, I know it's supposed to be something, I just can't place what it is. Like maybe one of the trolls.
Possibly.
Those little troll things. Sure. That's my guess, but like.
And also the Magic 8 Ball.
Oh yeah, of course. Yes, but the troll was very much one of the best parts. Now I was glad they brought him back, at the end of it, too, because it meant, it wasn't just like some weird kind of comedic misstep, or not misstep, it's just sidestep, I should say. It was actually something that was not super integral to the story, but like, they brought him back, which is nice. But yeah, I that was probably my favorite part. Absolutely. Especially especially like how scared Dash got at it.
Dash always dresses in style.
Of course. Oh Lord. But
Verity's name is George.
yes, yeah, that was pretty great as well. Yeah, I will call this one George.
Throwback.
Yes, and then God, what is he? What's the guy's actual name? The troll's name? They find out at the very end because
What
Fluttershy
is
just
it?
asked. I'm
I
gonna
have to
find it
go
out
look.
really quick.
It was Jim.
Jim. Yes.
Yes. It's just Jim.
You named the troll Jim? No, silly, that's his name. You know this how? Because I asked. Oh yeah, but besides that, the whole comic, once again, the faces are just
Amazing.
absolutely priceless in a lot of cases. Like there's just, I mean, the cool thing about this comic is that it's not in the style of the show, which I think a lot of people expected to see more of like a more faithful to that. I mean, it's not like unfaithful in the sense of like, the characters have weird dimensions or whatever. Like they're still the same characters. It's just definitely a different art style.
Mm-hmm.
And but like the faces especially and some of the poses and very, very amusing, for sure. Like it's certainly never a dull moment. And I mean, like some of the faces Chrysalis makes is some of the most like sinister, like like scary faces that you'll more so than you'll
Yes.
ever see in the show for sure. Um, like there's one where she's just like rawr,
Yeah.
and
I think I know which one you're talking
and
about.
I'm like, whoa, dude, back up! You don't know me like that.
Back up.
But yeah, I mean, like it just the whole. I mean, there's not really too much going on in this. Until the very end, which I mean, I guess if we're not going to spoil it, we won't mention it. But I will say that it is definitely something that's kind of slightly similar to what happened in uh, the Discord episode, the first the season 2 premiere, I should say.
Yes.
It's definitely similar to that. Not exactly the same, but close to it. Um, but that was a pretty cool touch, and it's definitely gonna be interesting to see how they work out of that in episode 3, because it's gonna be tough, to get the gang, back together, so to speak. But yeah, so exciting stuff coming, I'm sure.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know.
Derpy spider for.
Oh yes, the spider. How can I forget the spider? The spiders are the main villains, I guess, of this
Spiders.
comic. Yeah, the spiders. These. Um, no one is turned into a spider though, so no worries there. But there is one derpy spider who
Yep.
who takes Applejack's hat, and hilarity ensues. So
Indeed. I didn't even notice the first time.
yeah, so definitely check that out. But oh, and I guess I should also mention that, like, even though Chrysalis does not ever communicate directly with the main six in this, uh, they do encounter some of the changelings.
Yes.
So this isn't like a thing where like they're still traveling to try to make it to Chrysalis, and you just got these random spiders as antagonists. You still got the changelings in there too, doing their thing, and whatever that is, read to find out. But I mean, I'm sure you can kind of guess, and changelings and whatever they do. But
Yep.
doing their thing. But yeah, it very funny, just a good episode. Not episode, issue, and I'm definitely looking forward to the next one. I also thought Rarity was very funny in this too.
Oh yes.
Just enjoyed a lot of her lines. I can't remember my favorite one, and I wish I could find it, but
I liked it when she was making the rules about getting beat up.
yes, there was that. Yes, absolutely. Oh God, I'm so sad that I can't remember this.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't want to keep this going too long. When I just sit here and just rambling on like I already am.
Yeah. One thing I noticed, the return of Pinkamena, I guess.
Ah, yes, indeed. Which is always a good old time.
We've got stuff like Twilight acting just being excited about seeing the cave troll, not getting upset. Fluttershy being fine with the spiders.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Ah, Lord.
And speaking of unlike last issue, the first issue, no like mini story in it this time, but
Yeah,
there is
I
a really
noticed.
cool little map at the back.
Yes, and that's pretty cool for sure. Um, so if you're interested in kind of mapping out the Equestria, then there you go.
Yep. And once again, they show all the variant covers in the front and back on the inside of the front and back covers.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, I did just remember another thing I really enjoyed. This was when
yeah.
they're first walking into the cave, and Pinky takes the skeleton
Oh yeah.
and starts talking to it. Anyway, we should name this episode Ponies.
Ponies. Pretty ponies.
I shall name this podcast George. George 411.
Oh.
Pony 411.
Indeed. Another thing. Once again, the comic quality is pretty good. The actual physical quality.
That's good.
It's definitely not the same. Not quite the same as the first issue, but it's still really good. It's not like what the comics I remember from my youth, which were like actual paper, and were really easily destroyed. But yeah, it's pretty close. A little bit thinner, I guess. Yeah, a little bit thinner. But again, that might just be because I got the 6-pack before. I'm not sure because you said you got both of them. So, are yours roughly the same quality or what?
Yeah, they're about.
Okay, so yeah, mine just might be because of I got the box set.
Yeah. Could be. I don't know.
Definitely looking forward to the next issue, especially based on the preview from the iTunes thing. I think I'm going to enjoy it just because a little bit of a kind of a fandom destroying thing, of course, or not fanon destroying thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Of course, it depends on how much you attribute to the comics when it comes to canon.
That's a good point. It's definitely something tough. I know when I was younger, I was weirdly in the Lion King fandom, and there's these. It wasn't so much comics, but there were these like 6 adventure storybooks that were released around the time of the movie, or and I remember there were like weird things that happened in there that weren't really canon, and people were like, "Wait, what? What do we do now?"
This? I don't understand.
Let alone the fact that they screwed it up anyway, because at the end of the first movie, it's obviously a male cub, and then in the second one, it's a female. So what happened to the male? And that just
he died.
you think you've seen fanon? Just wait till you've seen the Lion King fandom. My God,
oh man,
whatever happened to that character? Oh God.
Yeah, so it's likely because of these comics we might start seeing tiered fanon, which is going to be fun to deal with. Or tiered canon, I should say, because now it's going to be like, the shows come first, and then the comics, then So
exactly.
basically, it's honestly, it's the only way we're going to be able to deal with any contradictions. But
in other words, have fun trying to sort this mess out.
Indeed, yeah. So if anything happens in the show and the comics that contradict each other, we're going to have to, the fandom's going to be having quote-unquote fun.
Conniptions is more like that.
Yeah, so anyway, though, still good. Buy them. $4.
Yes. If you don't, we'll kill you.
Exactly. I know where you live. Yes, you.
Yes. Anybody who listens to this, we have your personal information.
Yeah, I guess that's our topic of this week.
Oh man.
Us just rambling about comics. Yes.
Good times. Good times.
Yes.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I really enjoy, by the way, one last thing, the on the map, Appalachian Mountains.
Oh yes.
I was like,
I get it.
I enjoy that.
Yes.
Also, like something very interesting. I guess they're going into, as you see at the very end of the comic, they're about to head into this thing called the Forest of Leota, and within the Forest of Leota is something called the Old Mansion, and there appears to be ghosts by the Old Mansion. So that could certainly be something interesting if they happen to actually do anything with that in this comic, or that's just kind of there because whatever.
Who knows? We
I
shall
know
see.
it's right above the Timberwolf territory. We'll put it that way.
Woo!
So
Timberwolves.
yeah, it's a very actually. I'm really enjoying looking at this thing.
Gonna study it, learn all its secrets.
Learn everything.
So anyway, moving on, we actually do have some fan content, although no fan fiction, because quite frankly, you guys are disappointing me right now.
Why are they disappointing you?
Because of endless Human in Equestria fanfics. What is wrong with you people? I mean, seriously, we get it. Almost everyone in this fandom probably would love to meet the ponies. But we don't want to read about you meeting the ponies. And yes, I know your character is not actually you, but it might as well be you. Get over it. Stop writing them.
What he's saying is he wants you to write him into one of them.
No.
And he's sad that you haven't.
No. You
I'm
stop
gonna write
that right
one
now.
with you in it. We're going to be in it, and we're going to be podcasting from Equestria. And it's going to be... I don't know.
What are you going on about?
Podcast in Equestria.
Anyway,
Human in Equestria podcasts.
Yeah, despite the lack of fan fiction, I'll try to find something next week. We do have 3 pieces of music, and Four String is going to talk about them.
We are. I am.
We are. Who are you, Princess Luna?
Maybe. Yeah, I got 3 songs this week. All of which have been released fairly recently. Maybe I'm lazy and just looked at the last couple days. Maybe I'm not. But yeah, I picked 3 songs. One song I felt like I kind of had to include because it's one of those big songs, or a song by a big artist, I should say. So you kind of want to at least include it. It's kind of like if you ever work at a college rock station, you know, like, okay, that new song from that acclaimed indie artist may be absolutely horrible, but you feel like you got to add it anyway because it's them, you know, even though maybe your whole staff hates it. That's not the case with this, at least in my opinion, but I'm just, you know, examples. Anyway, but the first song, and that's the song I'm talking about here, is called Kindness. It's by MandoPony and AcoustiCBrony, or AcoustiMandoBrony, for those of you who like them together.
Your kindness won't betray me. I feel your heart and soul. Your kindness still can save me. I choose to not let go. Stretching out, you somehow reach me. I know this can't be wrong. I'm ready, won't you teach me your song of kindness?
Kind of keeping in the vein of Loyalty by that they did, that was about about Rainbow Dash. This is more of a Fluttershy song, and it's a nice sunny little tune. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much what you would expect from this pairing. Not too hard rock though. It's not acoustic either, but it's got a lot more like acoustic guitar in it, and it's kind of light and fluffy, you know, just which I think you kind of expect, you know, juxtaposing the 2 songs, you know, Loyalty, Rainbow Dash, more guitars, you know, she's all, you know, cool, whatever, flying through the sky. And then you got Fluttershy, who's more of like a docile, you know, cutesy kind of thing. So it fits. But yeah, so if you're a fan of Fluttershy, then this song's definitely for you. I mean, at least check it out. I mean, not actually be for you, but you know, at least check it out, see what you think. Yeah, so that's Kindness by AcoustiMandoBrony, I believe is how you say it. Anywho, song number 2, I decided to go with a song called Sweet Apple Acres, parentheses, Waterloo Sunset, and it's by Replacer featuring Feather.
I don't need no friends as long as I gaze on sweet apple acres. I am in paradise. Every day I look at the world from my window.
This song sounds particularly like another song that you've heard in the past, a non-Pony song. It's because it's very similar to the Kink song Waterloo Sunset, and definitely has a Kinks feel to it, kind of a bit of a Beach Boys type thing too. But I chose it because it was just a very interesting song. It's not every day you get songs in this fandom that have influences from those kind of bands. Also really enjoyed the vocal too, so there's definitely that. It's a very well put together song all in all. So you check it out if you're a classic rock fan for sure, let alone a fan of Replacer, Feather, anything like that, because I think you'll definitely enjoy it. It's definitely a song that is a little different than what you might be used to with a lot of Pony music. So, which, as many of you know, I try to, put a focus on a lot of the songs that we may not hear, that may not get as much of a due a lot of times. So, there we go. That's, again, Sweet Apple Acres by Replacer featuring Feather. Finally, I threw in an instrumental because, it wouldn't be a 4-string music interlude without some sort of instrumental. But it's not an orchestral instrumental as I usually do. I actually didn't have any of those this week. This song is, I know, it's weird. I almost added one and I was like, whatever. But this one's by Lynx, I believe. Yeah, Lynx, and it's a song called Ethereal Wanderer. Ethereal Wanderer. Is a song pretty much about Luna. It's one of those songs though that let's be real here, if you heard the song otherwise, without the background, you wouldn't really know of it to be a Pony song, but it's still a very good song. It's very interesting because it's another kind of genre that we don't really hear much. It definitely has a bit of a ska reggae vibe to it, which is why I was drawn to it immediately, kind of the same way I was drawn to BBBFF when it first came out. But I'm not saying they're similar songs, they're not, but it's kind of the same way I was drawn to both, just because of kind of that sound. But very cool song if you're interested in either of those genres. Again, it is an instrumental, so don't be expecting any vocals here. But reading from the YouTube description, Lynx describes it as an instrumental about Luna's dream walking abilities. Imagine the tranquility of traveling through a world of dreams. So, yeah, maybe this is what you expected it to sound like. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. Take a listen and see what you think. But, yeah, so I suppose that's all the songs I have this week. Those 3 tunes, check them out. You can check out, you just heard a little clip from all 3 of them, but check it out in the description. You can hear the full songs and see what you think. Let us know.
Indeed. I particularly enjoy the third one. I'm not sure why, but yeah, it's just
it's a fun little tune. Really enjoy
the third
it.
one in particular stuck with me. I did like the first 2, but for some reason they're just not sticking in my head as much as the third one.
Okay. What did you think? I'm curious because, MandoPony and AcousticBrony are both, especially their collaborations are so well known. I mean, especially Loyalties, just one of the biggest songs that we have. Do you think this is one of the kind of songs that we'll be hearing at conventions, and like on the radios and stations, radio podcasts around the fandom, as one of the bigger ones? Like, is it kind of like in that vein, up to that standard?
I think it is. Just briefly think just because it's one of those songs that just kind of catches your ear a little bit, just enough so you're at least interested. And it sounds like a song that is like very like crowd friendly, if that makes any sense. Like the kind of song you would hear on a radio station, even a real radio station, not just the internet radio stations. Even though that actually sounds kind of wrong saying real, but anyway.
I know what you mean.
But and also definitely probably would be one of those songs that if it was performed live at a convention, a lot of people would be really into it. So, yeah, I do believe it's one of those songs.
Yeah, I agree. Especially the convention part, and I'm sure that'll be definitely a welcome addition to his set or their set, either of their sets if they ever perform together or separate, whatever, at upcoming conventions. Which there are plenty, so catch them at your local convention. I'm not actually sure which one's Mando is coming to, or Acoustic for that matter, but
indeed,
sure it's plenty. But yeah, so cool, cool beans.
So once again, we're at the end of an episode. Oh no!
Oh man,
the very end already. Time just flies by when you're having fun, doesn't it?
We actually dragged this one out pretty long, all things considered.
Probably because we were both babbling and gushing about the comic so much.
That happens sometimes. What can we say?
Alas. So if you don't mind the babbling and in fact want to hear more babbling, you can subscribe to us on iTunes. You can also find us on Libsyn and YouTube at pony411.libsyn.com. That's LIBSYN. Or on youtube.com/pony411 respectively. You can also find us on Twitter. We're at Pony411. You can also follow our individual accounts. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1. He's at 4 String MLP. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Pony411. You can also drop us a line on our email account. It's pony411podcast@gmail.com. I think, that's everything. Any which way you can contact us, unless you find our actual physical addresses, and that would be kind of creepy, and I'd actually wonder who you are and probably get a restraining order.
I welcome it.
But anyway.
I welcome it. Send me candy. Valentine's Day. If I don't get any Valentine's Day cards, I'll be pissed. So I better get one.
Oh boy. Here we go.
And it better be one of those talking pony ones.
Happy birthday to you. No, not again.
Oh God. The favorite thing I've ever sent them. Well, no, second favorite. My favorite thing was one time I sent something to Funky through the mail while I was out in New York that was just that had all these bees in it, so I kept like drawing on the bees, like not the bees. Nicolas Cage. Anyway, God, was that you? That was Funky that posted the picture earlier this week of Pooh giving or Piglet giving Pooh the honey thing full of bees. I wasn't sure if you want it with or without. With what? So I put it with what? Bees. Fantastic. If you've never seen that picture, ladies and gentlemen, seek it out. It's great.
Indeed.
But next week we'll be back with more things.
More things. Actually, we'll be talking about the new episode.
We'll talk about the new episode. We also will have an interview with Eric Ridenour. I may have said that wrong. I apologize if so. He's the creator of the Journey of the Spark fan-made full feature film about My Little Pony. So
Indeed.
If you're interested in that, check him out. And we'll be talking to him next week, it sounds like. So interviews are coming back. I've been lax on them lately because I've taken my new position at the Daily Oat, and that's messed with me in terms of timing. But, maybe this will be the catalyst we need to come back and get a lot of things. Especially because there's a lot of conventions coming up. See, I would interview a lot of conventions, but I'm actually doing this con guide for the Daily Oat that's like, I'm already interviewing for that, so I feel like it'd be overkill to be like, hey, by the way, can I talk to you again? But ask you the exact same questions. Like, it just, I don't know if I want to put them through that. But anywho, so look for that next week. We got an episode with Discord next week too, so that's the big thing. Yeah, that's
Big thing.
watch. It's not even going to be John Delancey voicing it, and everybody's going to get really pissed.
Fandom meltdown number 1.
Tara Strong voices it. No, they give it to Andrew Francis as like a sorry for like not telling you that you were not Brayburn and taking your voices, but they didn't do it till like a week in advance, so everything sounds sloppily put together. It sounds like a good thing.
Adhesive medical strips.
Just like that. Exactly. Oh god, no, that means I have to go back and watch Invader Zim now. Thank you.
That sounds like a good plan.
Absolutely, I agree with you there.
Yeah. So on that note, I guess we're off.
Bye,
We'll
ponies.
see you guys later. And don't forget, please pony responsibly.
Or die.
Or don't. If you don't, though,
Die.
you will die.
Seriously, though.
Bye.
Die. He said die, not bye.
Oh, whatever.
I don't know.
EQG just posted about the Alicorn Twilight sticker that I alluded to earlier. I feel like I should make some popcorn because the reaction is just so entertaining.